Chris, what is our fourth main topic today?
This is from Justin D. Hey, John. Uncharted is my favorite video game franchise.
Woo!
And I was excited to hear about them making a movie. However, the trailers for the movie never inspired confidence in me. Now the reviews have lifted and they are mixed. Not terrible, but not the buzz I think you want if you're trying to kick off a huge movie franchise. Are you still excited to see Uncharted?
All right, thanks a lot for sending this in, Justin. And 1 week from yesterday, so next Thursday, 4 of us are going to go watch Uncharted in the afternoon next Thursday. I have been very excited about this movie.
Me too.
I like a lot of the people who are behind the camera. I like the people they got in front of the camera. I think the trailers have been wonderful. High hopes. I gonna lie, the wind in my sails have been taken out a little bit today. Maybe a little bit of wind taken out of my sails today, as yes, the review embargo has dropped. There are some decent reviews out there, but not the majority of them. As of this moment, Uncharted is holding a 41% on Rotten Tomatoes, which means 4 out of every 10 critics say they like it, but 6 out of every 10, and I expect this number to drop, but 6 out of every 10 is saying that they don't like it. I'll say this, though. With the exception of 1 or 2 that I read that said this movie is amazing, and with the exception of 1 or 2 that I read that said this movie is absolute crap, most of them on the pro and the negative side are pretty middling. Like, they're both like, hey, Tom Holland's very charming in it, and some of the action's pretty good, but there's nothing in here we haven't seen done better. And that's kind of the sense I'm getting from both of them. So not a lot of the extremes of this is great and this is total dog crap. A lot of it more in the middle, but yeah. Dude, listen, I've been very excited about this. I mean, obviously nowhere near as excited as I am for the Batman or things like that, but I've been very excited about this, and I'm still excited. Like, I'm still excited. We're gonna go see this on Thursday. I'm stoked for it. But I'd be lying to you if I didn't tell you a little that enthusiasm power has been dropped down a little bit. This kind of hurts to hear, but and I'm gonna say this too. I'm surprised. I honestly expected to hear better responses and better reviews. But anyway, Chris, you're hearing this. Any surprise? Has this impacted your enthusiasm level, however high or low it was?
There's no surprise here because I was not enthusiastic about this film. From
day one.
I don't want to say I told you so, and I don't want to be smug, but I feel a little smug. I mean, obviously, no one wants to make a bad movie, and no one wants to see a bad movie. We all want to go into something and have our expectations blown away and be like, that was fun. Or at the very least, not even have our expectations blown away, but that was a movie. All right. That was a nice time. We had a great time hanging out together. This is exactly what I expected. I expect that rating to drop. Critics obviously always aren't the end all be all of whether film has merit, right? Sometimes they get it wrong. Sometimes we as fans find something in there that brings us joy. But this is pretty much on par with where I thought this movie was going to land.
And again, remember, like 40% of the critics are saying they like it.
Yeah.
60% are saying they don't. So, I mean, who knows? This number could go up. It could go down, whatever. I'm going to remain optimistic. I'm going to remain optimistic and believe it's going to go up a little bit. It probably will go down. Rob, look, I know you've been looking forward to seeing this movie too. What do you think about the responses we're hearing so far?
Again, I'm not surprised. I mean, it's a video game movie. One of the things about the first Uncharted game was how beautiful it was. You know, the backgrounds, the actual design. And the one thing, aside from the fact that I thought the casting was too young, you know, both Nathan Drake and Sully were just too young.
100%.
And I understand why they went that direction. I totally get it. But the one thing that I was worried about, you know, this film, the look of it, the actual look of the movie, which you can see in the trailers, was not necessarily stylized. It looked like, I call them in my own mind, movies. It looks like it takes place in movie land, whereas, as an example, people are like, what do you mean, Rob? If you look at the way, say, the last Bond film, No Time to Die, the way it looks like it was shot in the real world. Everything in Uncharted looks like it's a movie. It's lit like a movie. It feels too bright. It doesn't have the that there's a fantastical quality in the Uncharted, like the realms. If you're going to do Uncharted and you go into the jungle, or you're going to go, make it look not like it could be the Jungle Book for Disney, or it could be this movie.
Yeah.
It doesn't have its own visual identity. It looks generic. And I felt that way. I don't know if it was the color palette or whatever. I would love to have seen this movie reflect the very game that it came from. With that, the jungle was real jungle in Uncharted. The ruins they found were real ruins, you know. But it just looks, the movie's apparently, judging by the reviews, generic, and I'm bummed out by it.
Did you see the last Tomb Raider?
Yes.
What did you think about that?
A little better,
Yeah.
actually. I would say that the Tomb Raider stuff had a stylization to it that this movie doesn't look like it has. I mean, is this Spanish galleon, even though it gets hoisted aloft, which I thought was cool, is it any different than Goonies or Hook or whatever?
Like Dora the Explorer.
Or Dora the
movie.
You know what? There's a little Dora the Explorer in the look of this film.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And obviously this is just a trailer, but like that we've seen so far. But like at least in the Tomb Raider film, right? We see the sweat and the grit and the wounds and everything that's building up. And maybe we see that as the movie progresses too, but right now everyone's a little shiny and pretty.
Yeah, I mean, I personally really like the last
I think
Tomb
it's
Raider
great.
movie.
Yeah,
I
I
thought
do
the
too.
last one was
I
really
wanna see
quite
it.
fun.
I was actually going to spend this whole weekend trying to catch something so I wouldn't have to go see this film. But now that I can't
Where are the
do that
COVID spikes
anymore,
right now? I'm gonna go visit.
now that I can't do that, my love for Tom Holland will put me in the seat.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
if Rob is next to me, then I'll be a little bit cool too, because I like the Moonfall.
We had a good experience with one another.
What we saw was bad, but we just made the best of it. I was laughing the whole time.
Yeah,
So,
I was laughing that
if
you were
the
laughing. It
movie's
was great.
bad, you just have to have a good time in order to make it worth it. So I'm hoping we just have a good time.
I think
movie's
it will be
good or
fun.
not.
I still think it'll be fun, but I don't know. This is anyway, guys. Question is for you. What do you think about this? The reviews are coming out and they're pretty down the middle of the road. There's not a lot of enthusiasm for this movie. Are you surprised you're not? I'm still going to see this thing opening.
We're going.
As we're going. We're going to go see this thing. We'll let you know what we think about it when we do. Anyway, what are your guys' thoughts right now? Jump down to the comment section below and leave your thoughts there.